Manchester United want to get going on transfer business and make some major moves early. They've already made their first bid for Jarrad Branthwaite and preparing an improved offer. They've opened talks with Desiree Doue's camp, and Fabrizio Romano has given a detailed update on the targets. We know that they're also pursuing Leny Yoro, said David Ornstein, and Kvaratskhelia could be the latest name added to the list if the Olise deal does not. So, hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football. Welcome back to another live Manchester United news, transfer news show and more. We're going to sum up everything in 10 minutes for you guys. As you can see by today's context, there's a lot to get through. So let's talk about the latest on Desiree Doué. This is everything that's come out in the last week or so surrounding Desiree Doué to Manchester United. Now we'll start with this old report here by Academy Scoop that has very good inside information on what goes on at United, particularly with younger players, saying that Manchester United have held initial talks with the representatives of Rennes wonder kid Desiree Doué. A formal approach could be made in the coming weeks. Ineos are eager to act quickly to avoid losing out on competition, with PSG and Arsenal also showing interest. So Man United have had talks with Desiree Doué's representatives. We've known that for the last month. They're obviously keeping an eye on the Olise situation, but obviously with competition like Arsenal may be pursuing the player, it may prompt them to move a bit quicker if they don't feel that they can get Olise. Obviously, we know that the whole situation with Olise is just massively dependent on what happens with Sancho and Greenwood and when we can sell them. But Manchester United are making moves for Doué. It's been told by many sources that we've held talks with Rennes wonder kid Desiree Doué, and obviously he's on the radar and he'll be available for 34 million. Now, Desiree Doué, £34 million is a really good bit of business. He's a really good deal. He's one of those Ballon d'Or ceiling guys. You know, when we're talking about Camavinga a couple of years ago and how he went to Real Madrid and smashed it, Desiree Doué is that next big star, which, you know, could be like Ballon d'Or potential. We're talking about Leny Yoro as well. Like, you know, when there's that kid in the French league, that Real Madrid or someone's going to snap up, and Desiree Doué, I think, could be honestly an elite level talent. Maybe we need a bit more experience in the rings with Alman and Garnacho being young, but I just think he's a good player. And the good thing is, I think Garnacho has been doing so well on the right that if we do miss out on Olise and get Desiree Doué, he's someone to push Rashford on the left. We keep Garnacho on the right, don't stunt his development, and keep Ahmad as the second option on the right wing. Maybe, but I don't know if we'll get him if we get Olise, but if we don't get Olise, I think that could happen. Now, one deal I think happens unless Everton just ask for a ridiculous fee, which I don't think they're in a position to do, and Man United feel that they will lower the fee, is Jarrad Branthwaite. It was said by the Times that Manchester United's rejected offer for Jarrad Branthwaite was a fixed fee of £35 million with £8 million in add-ons that would be activated only if the player reaches certain milestones. I think that's 43 million total. I think Man United will do something like 45 million with 8 million in add-ons, and then I think it will go to like 50 million with 5 million in add-ons, and I think a deal will be settled then. It was said by Ryan Taylor Sport that Manchester United are poised to submit an offer for Jarrad Branthwaite. However, United have no intention of matching Everton's 70 million asking price and will inform the Toffee of their willingness to move on to alternative targets if an agreement cannot be struck on what they consider to be realistic terms. And the Muppeteers did say that United think a deal will eventually be agreed with Everton for 50 to 55 million due to sort of Everton's general financial constraints at the moment, the fact that they kind of need to sell, unless Amadou Onana gets sold and they get money in quick, but he's at the Euros, so I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that they know that they probably need that money by June 30th for Branthwaite. He's agreed personal terms, he wants the move. Tottenham aren't going to push it, Real Madrid aren't going to push it, they haven't got the funds, so it's basically one of those situations where I think United have sort of got a little bit of an advantage at this. And I think, you know, I will judge Ineos how they deal with this. If they end up getting this deal done for 70 million and caving and, you know, wasting, you know, a spare 15, 20 million, which could have, you know, gone on, you know, you think Fofana's could be 20 million and we spend 70 million instead of 50 million. You know, that won't be good. Omar Broaden is something clear. They're not going to overspend. They're going to change our transfer ways. And this is why it's really important we don't overspend on Branthwaite. I want Branthwaite, but the minute it goes over £55 million, just get an alternative. Just get an alternative, in my opinion, because I think we need to send a message. And if other clubs see that we drop out of Branthwaite, who we clearly want because Everton asks for too much, they'll realise they can't mug us off anymore under Ineos. Which brings us into Zirkzee. Zirkzee is a release clause. Zirkzee could be the bargain of the summer. And Romano did say that we are interested in Joshua Zirkzee. He said Manchester United are asking about the situation of Joshua Zirkzee in terms of salary and release clause. However, AC Milan are currently the absolute front runners. They have an agreement with the player, which is the worrying thing. Man United have a strong interest in Zirkzee, and among clubs considering his 34 million release clause, Juventus and AC Milan are keen admirers. As whether to be seen if United's interest prompts Arsenal to make a move as well, because Arsenal have an interest in the player. and that Zirkzee is emerging as one of Man United's primary transfer targets. Now, what we've been told on Zirkzee by reliable sources is Man United wants Zirkzee. If Zirkzee is willing to come, they will trigger his 34 million release clause. We've inquired about Zirkzee. He's a genuine, probably our first choice striker target because he's going to be more affordable than Cunha, and Sesko's now out of the market. We'll only go for Zirkzee if Zirkzee indicates he wants to come to us. Because he's not guaranteed starter, he's leaning towards staying in Italy and going to Inter Milan as well. Guys, please hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new as well. And let's get into the next story on Leny Yoro. Now on Leny Yoro, this is what we know so far. Manchester United and Liverpool are actively pursuing a deal to sign Leny Yoro. Both clubs see Real Madrid as favourites but are pushing hard. PSG are also keen, says David Ornstein. Dia Rizea said that Manchester United and PSG have already moved for Leny Yoro. United is very serious, and Real Madrid have made it clear they will not pay more than 40 million for Euro, but Lille have much higher offers on the table. Then was said by The Athletic, a deal for Leny Yoro could be done for a fee of around 42 million. Manchester United, Liverpool and PSG are strong candidates to sign, and Real Madrid have made it clear to all parties they will not invest crazy in Euro. My theory on Euro is he's got 1 year left on his contract. Lille won't want to lose him for free. You know, Real Madrid managed to get Mbappe for free because he wanted the move so badly that Lille will have to lower the price tag, and Real Madrid get him for 30 million because it waits till the end of the window and he only wants Real Madrid. Like Camavinga had 1 year left on his deal, so Real Madrid got Camavinga for such a good price. I think that's what they're doing with Leny Yoro. Okay, well, he wants us more than those other clubs. Yes, those other clubs will pay the money for him, but if we wait till August, they think that, you know, Lille will probably lower their price and they can get Leny Yoro probably on the cheap, sadly, because I want Leny Yoro at United, but sadly, I do see him going to Real Madrid on the cheap, which means I think we'll pursue Todibo, and we will talk about Todibo in a second. But one player I want us to pursue, and apparently we will after the Euros, after we sort of sort something out for Casemiro, is Fofana. It was said that Manchester United is strongly positioned to secure the signing of Monaco midfielder Youssouf Fofana. In midfield, Monaco's Youssouf Fofana has come under consideration at United, but it's unclear how advanced it is, said The Athletic, although French sources say we're in a strong position to sign, and The Athletic say, yeah, we're looking at him, but they're not sure how advanced he is, and The Athletic is definitely the most reliable source of information. And then Attacking Footy said that Manchester United are interested in Monaco midfielder Youssouf Fofana, and they made contact to express their interest in Youssouf Fofana, and he would cost around £25 million. I'm all over Fofana to Man United for £25 million. I also hope we have a look at UEFA, but we only seem to be genuinely really interested in Fofana, and looking at Fofana, who we almost signed last year. The scouts wanted to sign. We tried to get him on loan, but they would only do a permanent deal, and we didn't have the funds for a permanent deal. But Youssouf Fofana is definitely one. Which brings us into who Manchester United's favourite midfield target would be, Joao Neves. I think if Man United could get him for the right price, Manchester United would be all over Joao Neves. But Benfica, you look at the money they got for Joao Felix, you look at the money they got for Darwin Núñez, you look at the money they got for Enzo Fernandez. That's just 3 players. I feel like I'm missing out someone else that they sold massively big. You know, Benfica, Goncalo Ramos, they got good money for, and he's not been particularly good at PSV. Benfica get good money for their players, so I don't see them lowering the price of Joao Neves, especially because he's so young. I think if we do wait a year and let him have 1 more year at Benfica, it's probably not the end of the world just for his development, because I think we need a more physical profile in midfield. But obviously, as Romano said, in terms of possibility, the position from Benfica is the same as €120 million release clause. They want to keep him for another year. Romano said, look, United made contact with people close to Joao Neves. They believe he's one of the best midfielders around. The interest is genuine, but the financials could be an issue. Romano's confirmed that if we could financially afford him, we would probably be going for Joao Neves. We like him. There's contact. But yes, it all depends on the financials. Which brings us into other things Fabrizio Romano has been saying. He said that Man United will make an offer for Miros Kerkez. There will be interest to join even without Champions League football. I mean, he's at Bournemouth. Yeah, you know what, I'm at Bournemouth, but I won't go to United because they don't have Champions League football. Anyway, that is Romano saying the obvious. I like Romano, but... It also said that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is attracting interest from the Premier League and Italian clubs. His exit is still a possibility if United receive a good bid. I think Romano said that United would probably maybe accept 16 million at the lowest. They want 20 million for him. And considering that Emerson Royale is going to go over for 15 million to AC Milan, if we can't get 15 million from Italian clubs for Wan-Bissaka when he's better than Royale, that would be mad. For me, it's also going to take 15 million to replace Wan-Bissaka. Like, there's options to replace Wan-Bissaka out there, but it will take 15 to 20 million. So there's no point selling Wan-Bissaka unless you think you can get a better, younger, more attacking fullback that suits Ten Hag's philosophy for 15, 20 million. And with Wan-Bissaka, you've got such a unique profile with a player that can lock down any sort of winger in the world on his day. Romano said that obviously Chelsea are pushing for Olise and they want to bring in as many players as they can before July. And the next day's discussion to plans with both United and Chelsea on how they want to proceed with the transfers. All of this stuff was said about 3-4 days ago on the United Stand YouTube channel. So do get to go check out Fabrizio Romano's interview on the United Stand YouTube channel if you want everything that was said, because a lot was said. But I wanted to include it in today's video to give context to all the news we're speaking about, because Romano obviously said a lot of things on the United Stand that we looked at Todibo. If Maguire left, we're still looking at Todibo. But interestingly, Romano said today, and this came out earlier today by Romano, that Premier League clubs are keeping an eye on the situation of Kvaratskhelia, who wants to leave Napoli. Now, Kvaratskhelia has made it clear he wants to leave Napoli. His agent's been coming out saying he wants to leave Napoli. He's open to a move to the Premier League, and there's Premier League clubs interested in Kvaratskhelia. Romano didn't name the Premier League clubs interested in Kvaratskhelia, but Italian sources are saying Man United are one of them. Now, that could just be because, okay, that's going to get clicks. Let's think Man United to win. But I'm sure we're keeping an eye on Kvaratskhelia. I mean, very, very good player. Can play left wing, can play right wing. 23 years of age as well. Very, very exciting player. I've always been a big fan of Kvaratskhelia. It just depends on the fee, man. He's one of those that people are thinking 100 million fee for a guy that, to be honest, 11 goals and 9 assists last season in Serie A was nothing special. Predominantly played left wing. So I like Kvaratskhelia, but still would focus on Olise. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Bye.